And welcome our dear viewers to our special coverage for the preparations ahead of the inauguration of the GEM, the Grand Egyptian Museum. And we are joined by our correspondent Riham Talima from the Grand Egyptian Museum, who is conducting the following interview with Dr. Hussein Kamal. Riham.
Hello Mahisti, hello everyone. دلوقتي معانا دكتور حسين كمال رئيس مركز الترميم بالمتحف المصري الكبير. اهلا بحضرتك معانا يا فندم.
Welcome. Could you please speak to us about this great event that is taking place today? The Grand Egyptian Museum
عملنا تشغيل تجريبي يمكن في اكتوبر 2024 وكان بيضم
it gathers galleries, main galleries
12 قاعة على مساحة 18,000 متر
within the
أو ما زالت بتحكي تاريخ الحضارة البشرية من عصر ما قبل الأسرات لحد نهاية الدولة نهاية العصر اليوناني الروماني. النهارده بيتم رفع الستار عن أجمل قاعة عرض متحفي على مستوى العالم اللي هي
the Grand Egyptian Museum is one of the greatest and it gathers the collection of Tutankhamun and
تجربة عرض متحفي مختلفة تماما هتبهر العالم لأن مجموعة الملك توت عنخ آمون من بداية اكتشافها وهي جذبت العالم بالكامل.
It have attracted the
أثرية على مستوى العالم هتتعرض بأحدث تقنيات
is displayed in a very attractive way. Today is the inauguration and also with the restoration center also played a very important role. Would you please talk to us about this role? The role of the center have started very early. Since 2006 until 2009 and in 2010, almost 15 years we are working concerning 57,000 pieces that have been collected from several museums from around the Republic, and it was transferred here into the Grand Egyptian Museum, and every piece and every item has its own story. The collection of Tutankhamun, especially the items that have been stored and were not displayed before, and it was stored inside the old Egyptian Museum in Tahrir, and other pieces were stored in Luxor, and also the daughters of the mummies and of the daughters of King Tut. And all of this is going to be displayed in one place. There are several pieces that was not ready to be displayed. We have restored these pieces and was now able to be displayed and shown. I was asking you about training concerning the restoration. We are not only training Egyptians, but we are training people from abroad, from outside Egypt, because training is very important. Since the start of the museum, we started training them They are 150
خريجين كلية آثار قسم ترميم.
and they are graduated from the university,
والدراسة الأكاديمية كمان عندهم
the
خبرات تراكمية من
antiquities
التعامل مع 57,000 قطعة أثرية.
college. That's why they are
ينقلوا بقى خبراتهم
really unique and have experience
ناس تانية جوه مصر وبره مصر
and was able to train Egyptians and people from abroad also. We also made training courses for 60
في علوم المتاحف من المملكة العربية السعودية جم خدوا دورة تدريبية شهر
who took thank you so much Dr.
Thank you so much, Mahisti, and this was Dr. Hussein.
So much for this interview, and we'll be back to you throughout the rest of the evening for more updates on the inauguration of the Grand Egyptian Museum, which will be taking place in a few hours. And covering this very special event, we are very much delighted to be joined here in the studio by our dear guest, Ms. Rana Ehab, our heritage researcher. Thank you so much, Ms. Rana, for joining us.
Thanks for you, and it's an honor for anyone to be here today to covering the great opening of the Grand Egyptian Museum.
Yes, as you have mentioned, Ms. Rana, today is a very special day, the inauguration of the GEM, the Grand Egyptian Museum, which is one of the largest museums in the world and the largest actually for one civilization. What's the importance from your point of view of the GEM for Egypt and for the whole world?
So actually, if the whole world looking at the Grand Egyptian Museum as a building, for us as Egyptians, we're looking from different sides. We have here our heritage, our culture, our civilization. When we are talking about the most famous science in all the world, the back or the base of it, back to the ancient Egyptian. So we have a lot of stories inside the museum we need to tell the people about. We have a lot of amazing things we now honored to show to the whole world about how it's really amazing. The stories from the one who's welcoming you when you are entering as the King Ramses II himself. When you are entered, founding the Grand Staircase and all of these things, what make the Grand Egyptian Museum is very special. All the things are made in Egypt and they are presented in Egypt for the Egyptian in general and also for whole world.
Yes, as we said, Ms. Rana, the museum is dedicated to one civilization only, which is not the case in most of the world museums. Can you tell us about the history of the civilization that is included in the museum, which is starting from prehistory till the Greco-Roman era?
So I will tell for each time when someone asks me about the Grand Egyptian Museum, to finish the museum in one day, it's not enough. So because, as you mentioned, we are talking about around 10,000 civilizations in one place, each piece talking about or telling us about some special event happened in the history during all of these years. So it's a huge, but what I want really to focus on, like the statue of King Ramses II, which is weighted around 80 tons, made from the pink granite that's coming from Aswan. And when we are talking about the Grand Staircase and all the monuments and the statues that we have there, for example, Queen Hatshepsut, Thutmose III, and a lot of many statues are there. The division of the Grand Staircase itself. So when you looked at the Grand Staircase for the first time, you feel how I will finish the stairs. But when you are going step by step, you found yourself engaging with the stories and with the statues, taking picture, and you found yourself, you finished the stairs with a great panorama of the pyramids, and that satisfied you inside. So
yes, that would bring me to ask about the location of the museum itself, which is a masterpiece by itself, since now we also have a walk to the pyramids, the Giza Plateau and the pyramids So how do you see this special location, and to what extent this is giving a facility to the visitors to the museum, to visit the museum, to walk to the pyramids, and all is almost reachable with no problems, or quite a nice and let's say smooth and imaginary walk through the doors of history.
So I want to shed the light in the very beginning for something very, very important. When we are talking about the infrastructure, changing the whole infrastructure for all of this area is very important. So we have now, for example, the Sphinx Airport. So it's making people easy access to the area. We have now a subway and the metro station there, making also facilities for all the tourists. They are living in Egypt here, and for the tourists to enjoy walking during between the monuments, looking at the pyramids all the time, for the bazaars. All of this actually take us to the visitor experience. How the visitor experience, Egyptian government working very hard by all the ministries. They are doing all the efforts to create something very special. When we are talking about the pyramids of Giza, this is the only remaining wonders from the ancient wonders of the world. So how the area should be developed. And now we have a completely new area and era for the pyramids of Giza. Different style of walking, different style of even the experience. If you are visiting the pyramids since all of this year, today it's completely different. We are following the track to make Egypt lead in tourism sector.
Indeed. That would bring me to ask here, Ms. Rana, what makes the Grand Egyptian Museum one of the most significant cultural projects in Egypt's history?
So this is a kind of a question that we need a lot of episodes to ask to answer that. I just want to mention this in 2 sentences at least, because it's a host of one civilization, which is the greatest civilization, the oldest civilization in all the world, and we have a lot of amazing things inside. It's not about just looking, taking your group and going around the museum to see the labels and to just talking about the civilization. It's about a different thing. You are going to the Grand Egyptian Museum to enjoy your time there. And when we are talking about its educational center, it's not only about a museum to visit, it's completely something nice. Something to spend the time with your family, with your colleagues, with your friends, to enjoy inside. And also with the technology that we have now and today in the Grand Egyptian Museum, with the screens, when you are walking and look at the wall, you feel it's a wall, or this is a part from a tomb wall or something like this. That's what makes the Grand Egyptian Museum is very special. We have now the virtual tour realities that we heard about the palaces and the museums and the houses in the ancient time, but we didn't feel it. Now just wear your VR glasses and you will be inside the palace itself.
Yes, that would bring me to ask about the interconnection here with the artifacts, the interaction with the history of Egypt through our visit to the gem. So can you tell us more about the new technologies which is applied in the gem for the visitor?
So one of the most significant thing for me as a researcher I care about, that when you are walking and you have a lot of hieroglyphs. So the hieroglyphs now is translated. So you just looking at the screens around you, you found the tunes and the singing that it was things before thousands of years ago. Now it is translated to Arabic and English and many other languages. So this is one of the technologies that actually we need. One of the interactions that in the museum we cannot touch the monuments, we cannot touch the statues. But today they are doing a very, very special thing. You cannot touch, but you can take photos in different way that makes you feeling you are touch the statues and touch the monuments inside. So this is one of the interactions. You just sit on the chairs and you will find all the screens around you is moving. The sand, you are inside the tomb. The king by himself talking to you. So this is the thing is very, again, very unique, very special. For sure, in the world we have amazing museums, but like the Grand Egyptian Museum, we haven't.
Indeed. How does the museum actually reflect Egypt's vision for the cultural tourism for the 21st century?
Actually, Egypt during the history did amazing great projects during all this century. Today when we are talking about the 21st, we are talking about proudly, because it's completely pure Egyptian thing. When we are looking to the workers, they are completely Egyptians. For sure, we have foreigners, they are giving the support and they are helping and they are giving us from the experience that they have learned. And also we are talking about the spaces, we are talking about the green museums now. When we are talking in the future about the sustainable development, the green museums, and talking about many different things, the Grand Egyptian Museum achieved all of these things. So because the Grand Egyptian Museum, it's not a project that started yesterday. It's a project started from years and years, decades actually. And I want to share that I'm lucky person today to have this Grand Egyptian Museum opening and feel it and visit it, and having even the research center there.
Yes, indeed. How does the gem differ from the Egyptian Museum in Tahrir Square?
So at Tahrir Square, it's the old school. I mean, it's the classical one. So even the building itself is considered as a historical building. The museum and Tahrir, it have different vibes. Now the next generation looking for the new technology, looking for enjoyment more, looking for many different things. The museum in Tahrir, it's a classic one. The people who's loving, seeking for the museums, the hidden places, they are going to there. And the development in the Egyptian Museum is working very hard. Now it's a piece of art. So a lot of another treasure, it's not discovered yet in the Egyptian Museum in Tahrir, because it's very special. So the Grand Egyptian Museum, as I mentioned, for the new generation, for the people who are seeking for the playing, engaging, it's with the family, with the friends. We are going there, running and going here with the children museum, which is they have the new technology there. When they have the more mindset, different mindsets from that we have in Tahrir. Both are remarkable here in Egypt. Both are one of the best museums in all the world. But the compare will be about, this is the Grand Egyptian Museum again.
Of course. And from your point of view as a researcher, Ms. Rana, what's the main highlight in the gem?
The main highlight in the gem, the research center of the Egyptologists.
Very biased, actually.
Yes. So this is what people care about. When we need to search about info, we need to go to the stores and just going to the data. Now we have a complete research center for us, giving and providing us with all the information that we need. So this is a very, very special thing. And for me, when if you are talking about me as a visitor, for sure I would like to try the virtual reality tours, going and playing, hunting the treasure in the Grand Egyptian Museum. And even one of the highlight things, the bazaars. We have the top brands in Egypt, which is national brands. That's what makes us proud.
Made in Egypt.
Exactly, made in Egypt. And taking just even a cup of tea with the Egyptian taste. The visitors, they are coming to us, and the tourists, they are coming to us to try how the spirit of Egypt. And we are giving them the spirit even in the cup of tea he drank.
Yes, indeed. Also, Ms. Rana, we have to talk about the special artifacts, and many are displayed for the first time, and especially the collection of the Golden Pharaoh, King Tut. Can you shed light about this very special collection? Many in display for the first time, and I do believe that it is the full collection in display in the gem.
Yes, this is the first time since we discovered his tomb in 1922 to have the whole collection in the same place. So back to the Egyptian Museum in Tahrir, and the second floor, the whole second floor is only for the treasure of King Tutankhamun. Imagine we have all of these treasures. We are collecting from Luxor, from around the world in the Egyptian Museum in Tahrir, from the stores even. We bring them to be conserved and allocate them again in the main gallery of King Tut. And for the first time, imagine you are surrounded by gold. And this is not an ordinary gold. It's a pure gold. It's Egyptian one. When you are going around, found the fingers of King Tutankhamun, found the chairs, and found the coffin, found the shrines, found everything related to him. When we are talking about the golden mask, the masterpiece in all the world, allow me to say that, the masterpiece in all the world, how it was created in this time. What the technology they have to just having something very, very unique like what we have in the Grand Egyptian Museum now.
Yes, indeed.
So this is one of the top finds thing that we are to talk about. And also all the researchers, the doctors around the world, they are mentioned King Tutankhamun as the boy king. Looking at the boy king when he, all the world is coming today to see his gallery.
Yes, indeed. Also, which artifacts are expected to be the highlight or the main attractions in the gem, away from, of course, our Golden King and his very special collection?
So I want to highlight from my side the boat of King Khufu, the solar boat of King Khufu. The solar boat, it was located before in the southern part of the pyramid, the Great Pyramid of Giza, and we are moving this amazing boat to different place in the Grand Egyptian Museum, and we have its own special place. When we are talking about the boat, we are talking about around 40 tons from wood that imported from outside Egypt. It's made from Lebanon, cedar wood. We are talking about the height and the width of the boat. It's more than 40 meters also. So imagine the people, we are talking about maybe 5,000 years ago now, and they didn't have any small piece of iron. It's all made from wood. What's the technology they have? What's the mindset of the ancient Egyptian people when they are thinking, when they are growing, when they are thinking about everything around them?
Indeed.
Those are the ancient Egyptian people.
Yes. How does the museum ensure the preservation and the restoration of the ancient Egyptian artifacts?
So now we are talking about, we have the talk with the doctor. So actually the restoration and the conservation lab in the Grand Egyptian Museum, it's one of the biggest conservation labs in all the Middle East and Africa. And we have, it's not only just one place, it's many places, many restoration labs, and many of everything. We are working with organic materials. We are working with the non-organic materials. We are working with jewelries and everything. And you found all of this working by Egyptians, by the conservators who are learned in the universities and the colleges of Egypt.
It took years and years to end up with this beautiful, of course, display of all the artifacts, the statues. Actually, amazing work has been done.
Definitely, definitely. So when also we are talking about, we are trained many people around the world, and they are coming to take their training in the restoration labs of the Grand Egyptian Museum. That's what makes this place is really very special when we have a lot of amazing things inside.
Yes, and from the gem, from the Grand Egyptian Museum, we have our correspondent Shourouq Bakir, who is conducting the following interview with Dr. Mohammed Ismail Khalid, the Secretary General of the Supreme Council of Antiquities. Shourouq.
Hello, Majesty. Good evening. Well, Majesty, of course, we are here.
And Shourouq, yes?
The glory. Yes, Majesty, I can hear you.
Shuru,
Yeah?
you have our guest, Dr. Muhammad Ismail Khalid, the Secretary General of the Supreme Council of Antiquities. Can you update us about the situation and the preparations in the gem ahead of the grand opening?
Well, Majesty, of course, we are present here between the glory of our history and a new beginning, a new era in the history of tourism in Egypt, and a new beginning that will be engraved forever. Well, Dr. Muhammad, first of all, I'd like to welcome you to Nile TV International. It's a great honor to have you.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here and that you have with us here. It's a great honor because you are actually documenting a very interesting and really a wonderful, unforgettable moment.
Well, Doctor, of course, there's lots of preparations that have been done, lots of efforts behind the scenes, of course, lots of nights that participated in this glorious event. So tell us more about how did it go all those months working here, and of course, under your leadership and under, of course, Dr. Ahmad Ghanim's leadership.
Of course, yes, it's a great collaboration. It was unbelievable that we work all together in a harmony. Everyone is working. Even we were working during the construction of some of the building. So can you imagine that we work in displaying some artifacts while engineers were working in establishing the rest of the museum. Of course, the last weeks, especially by moving the artifacts, especially the mask of King Tut and the rest of the artifacts that were displayed at the Egyptian Museum in Tahrir, it was a very important and really I cannot express about my feeling about moving the last piece from there to be exhibited here in the new home of King Tut. This was unforgettable moment for all of us, and it was full of excitement really, and I hope that people today will be able to see what we are presenting to the world. A new collection, the most complete objects of King Tut to be displayed for the first time after the discovery of the tomb in 1922. And today is the 1st of November, and the discovery of the tomb was the 4th of November. So we are celebrating actually both 103 years from the discovery of King Tut and also the inauguration of the gem, especially opening the exhibition hall of King Tut.
Well, this place, this majesty, this grandeur place, it's a combination between modernity and the glory of history. And this will be engraved also in the minds, and not just nationally, but I think internationally too. Not just 100,000 pieces that tells a story from each era and from different families that can be expressed. Lots of halls also that are going to serve children. There is lots of halls. The 12th hall in one hall, I guess.
Exactly.
So can you explain that to us?
Of course, it's not only just King Tut, it's 7,500 square meter, but also we have the largest, it's 12 gallery in one hall. It's the largest gallery in the world. It has, of course, chronologically the objects, as well as also the thematic, of course, its themes about beliefs, about afterlife, about daily life and everything. It gives really a great idea about the glory of the ancient Egyptian history, and it presents really a message to the whole world that Egypt is really the civilization that has changed the world, the civilization that is presented to the world, science, technology, everything. From the moment that the ancient Egyptian started to carve a statue, from the moment when the ancient Egyptian tried to bury the statue with him, or the artifacts with him, when the Egyptian archaeologists started to discover and to uncover those statues from sand, from the moment that the Egyptian restorer did restore this statue, from the moment that the Egyptian engineer started to establish this museum. So everything, it's really a very connected line between the ancient and the modern time, shows that Egypt is really the place of civilization.
One more thing is about civilization is the entwining from ministers, from the ministries, from all the partners, and of course from all the workers, that they left their prints here and they will live forever.
Of course, of course.
And how do you tell us about the beautiful tension, back scene, and the national bride? I think that was a mixed feeling up till now, till today, the inauguration, the grand ceremony.
Of course, the grand ceremony, it will be really the gift for not only just the gift of the Egyptian to the whole world, and we are looking forward to a big surprise in the ceremony.
Well, I think this will be a very special night, a spectacular one, the glory of the history entwining.
Yes, indeed, Shuru, looking forward for our surprises that we are going to watch during the inauguration ceremony of the gem. Shuru Bakir, our correspondent from the Grand Egyptian Museums, and just a few hours ahead from the grand opening. Thank you so much for your coverage from there, and we'll be back to you for more updates. And back to our dear guest, Ms. Rana. As we have been hearing from Dr. Khaled, the Secretary General of the Supreme Council of Antiquities, we have here a very unique mixture from the modern civilization, the modern technology, and the ancient Egyptian civilization. How do you see the interactive experience that would be taking place through the visitors' visit to the museum, and how they would enjoy this very unique experience?
So actually the headline here will be the building itself,
yes,
which is the modern building. It's hosting the ancient civilization of the ancient Egyptian people. So and even with the facilities that we have inside the museum, was as we mentioned, the shops, the bazaars, even the rest area. If you want to just enjoying your time when you are studying or finishing something, and looking to the grand staircase, looking to the people who's engaging with the monuments, taking pictures. This is the mix between the modern and mix between the ancient Egyptian civilization that we are talking about, and also even in the galleries inside the museum itself, which is amazing, absolutely amazing, showing the ancient Egyptian civilization with a very, very special way. When we are looking at the procession way, when they are moving, when we are looking to the display of the papyrus, the longest papyrus that we have there, when we are knowing more about the ancient Egyptian daily life, how they enjoying their life, because when we are talking about the civilization, or especially ancient Egypt, the only thing coming to the people's minds, it's only they are building the pyramids and tombs and temples, and they are went to sleep. This is not completely true. So they have, they know how to enjoy their time. They have a lot of plays to do, and they have actually a great life, playing, building, engaging, doing ceremonies, festivals. So I can feel that the people and the Grand Egyptian Museums now feeling the souls of the ancient Egyptian kings and the queens moving between them in a good vibes, because that's why they actually made the statues, that's why they're making temples, that's why they are making the pyramids, that's why the ancient people left for us as something to be proud of in the future. And yes, we are after 7,000 years ago, we are very proud of them. We are very proud. They are left for us as something unique and a world. We are taught a world. What is the meaning of the civilization?
From your point of view, Ms. Rana, what are the most important galleries in the gem?
So the one who is important after what we mentioned, it's actually about the daily life. So the daily life there, we have, we know about the economy, we know about the politics, we know about the social life that they have, we know about how the workers live in that time, what they are doing, what about the kind of management, how they manage their time. We are talking about the leadership, we are talking about the wisdom of ancient Egyptian, and doing everything in particular, and doing everything for a reason. They are not just creating a paper for something, they are creating a papyrus for a reason. When they have the script tools that we have, when they are even how they using the sources around them to create a special, very, very special colors that we are looking today in the monuments that we have. So all of that going to telling us why the Grand Egyptian Museum and the ancient Egyptian civilization, it's a great civilization in its core. When we are talking today about the truth, when we are talking about the wisdom, when we are talking about the justice, all of these things, it's wrote in the temples, it's wrote in the temples, it's wrote in the tombs and the papyrus, even in the stone, even the stone, when they are wrote, and even on the ostrakas, when the pottery have been destroyed, we are not through it. We wrote on it a couple of pieces and the sentence to leave till this moment.
Yes. The gem is Egypt's gift to the world today. And of course, it is a great heritage which would be displayed in a few hours. There are surprises, as it was mentioned by the officials in the inauguration tonight. What are your expectations from the inauguration and the surprises that would be on display in the inauguration?
So actually, the surprise for me will come after the inauguration of the Grand Egyptian Museum. Egypt today is targeting around 30 million tourists by the next 2 years, but by the Grand Egyptian Museum, I think we need to change this number, because the tourists, they are coming from all the world to see. Even the domestic tourism itself will be increased for the double, because if you are going on the streets, found the vibes of the Egyptian when they are very proud, even all the tourists that they are here, the musicals, they are coming from all the world for this inauguration. They are actually selected by one for such a great opening for the Grand Egyptian Museum. Everything will be prepared today, will live forever. Like when we have the monuments living forever, and the inauguration of the Suez Canal, of the Grand Egyptian Museum also will living forever.
The importance of the gem for the new generations. How do you see such an importance for the new generations from Egyptians?
So the Egyptian social media now is booming by different things, using the AI when they are wearing the costumes of the ancient Egyptian people, and engaging, reading about the history, knowing they are the real owner of this land, the real owner of the civilization, the people who really protect their countries from thousands of years ago, when they are proud to telling stories about the kings and the queens, telling the stories about how we are really care about our land. This is the effect of the new generation, or the next generation, when they are saying them, telling their parents, we need to visit this museum, we need to go to this museum. This is what the country plays important role now, to educate the next generation about their heritage, to educate them about how important to visit these places, know the history. It's not only reading in the books, but also by visiting and enjoying there.
Yes. The impact of the opening of the gem on the tourism industry, to what extent that would increase the flow of tourists coming to visit Egypt, and especially the cultural tourism?
Actually, when you are listening to the tourists, they are now in the Cairo street, you will hear, we want to visit the Grand Egyptian, we are waiting for the Grand Egyptian Museum. And one of the oldest marketing tools in all the world, when we have the word of mouth. So imagine when they are just back to their countries and talking about how the Grand Egyptian Museum is amazing, how the facilities, how the Egyptians themselves treat people here. So this is the hospitality of Egypt. This is why people loving to come to enjoy here. They are not here to visit the building. They are here to enjoy. And the one who will treat them very well, the Egyptians who are working, who are welcoming them. So this is the impact of the tourism sector that will happen after the opening of the Grand Egyptian Museum. And it will be appeared in the next day, especially we are in the season, in the winter season. People are coming here for the cultural tourism in general. So they are coming to visit the pyramids of Giza, the Grand Egyptian Museum, take the cruises, enjoying to Luxor and Aswan and many, many, many things.
Yes. Also, how will the museum contribute to Egypt's global image as a center of ancient civilization?
So the global image here will not be only about the global civilization or about the civilization itself. It's about how the power of Egypt and the ancient time and now. So when we are talking that we are creating and now we have honor to open the Grand Egyptian Museum, which is the greatest museum in all the world. Allow me to say universe, so because we didn't discover any other civilization yet. So this is the grand thing in all the world. And the surprise is that all the antiques and each monument inside this museum, it's completely pure Egyptians. It's not coming from any other civilization in the world. It's not coming from any country. It's a pure Egyptian, creating for Egyptians and for all the world too.
Ms. Rana, Egypt is inaugurating the Grand Egyptian Museum, the GEM. We have, of course, the museum in Tahrir Square, and we have the Museum of Civilization. How do you see the differences, and what are the main differences from your point of view as a heritage researcher between the three museums, and what are the main attractions in these museums for the tourists?
So actually, if you are, I'm just mentioning that all the time, if you are a tourist and you want to spend your whole journey here in Egypt for 10 days, it's not enough. Imagine in Cairo only, we have 3 museums that's related to the ancient Egyptian civilization.
Indeed.
And that's our right. Looking about 10,000 civilization, 3 museums, it's not that big actually to talk about. And when we have only about, talking about Cairo, we have the 3 Egyptian museums, and we have the biggest also museum in all the world, which is the Islamic Museum, the biggest Coptic museum in all the world that also we have, and all of them in Cairo. When we are talking to the Civilization Museum, we have very, very special thing there. We are talking about the mummies of ancient Egypt, the kings, the rulers of ancient Egyptian civilization. That's what makes this place.
Sorry, Ms. Rana, but we are taking our correspondent Basma Taha from Abdin. Basma. Hello, Basma.
Good evening, Maisti.
Can you hear me?
Maisti, can you hear me?
Yes, Basma, can you describe the scene at Abdin before the grand opening of the GEM?
Yes, Maisti, as we all know, today is a historical day in Egypt. The Grand Egyptian Museum, Egypt's gift to the entire world. The whole world is looking forward to the opening ceremony, which will be held after maybe 1 hour, very few hours from now. Let me tell you that the festivities dominating the whole scene here in Abdin Square. While coming here, different segments of society, different age brackets, people are keen to come in order to celebrate this great event. Also, they feel proud that Egypt is capable of organizing an international event. Indeed, huge efforts are exerted by Cairo governorate in order to take part in such celebration by holding screens everywhere in squares and in streets. Also, as when I talked to some Egyptians, they told me that they believe that this event, the Grand Egyptian Museum, that the opening of this museum will lead to flourishing the tourism sector here in Egypt. As we know, it is expected that the number of visitors and the numbers of tourists will increase, and it's expected 1 million of visitors each and every year. Also, they are very proud, as UNESCO listed the Grand Egyptian Museum as one of the most beautiful museums in the world. We are looking forward to the opening ceremony, which will be very soon, and also we are looking forward to this event, as we know that heads of states, presidents, kings, celebrities, many high-ranking officials will take part in such great events. Also, let me tell you that a mode of festivity is dominating the whole scene. People are singing patriotic songs, and they are wearing pharaonic outfits, and also they are holding Egypt's flags, and they are very proud of such a great and historical event in Egypt, the Grand Egyptian Museum, Egypt's gift to the entire world.
Asma, how do you see the numbers till now, as you have kindly mentioned that we are just a few hours away from the grand opening of the gem? The numbers flocking to Abdin Square to watch live the ceremony which would be displayed on the screen. What about the numbers till now, Basma?
Majesty, can you raise your voice?
Basma, the number of people coming to Abdin Square to watch on the screen the live transmission of the opening of the gem, how do you see the numbers till this moment, Basma?
I can't hear you well, but I think you're asking about the people or the number of people. Indeed, the streets are full of people who are keen to attend this great celebration. As I told you, a mode of festivity is dominating the whole scene, and Egyptians are feeling very proud. Also, they are holding Egypt's flags, wearing pharaonic outfits, and also singing and waiting for this great celebration.
From Abdin, thank you so much for your input, and we'll be back to you for more updates before the inauguration of the Grand Egyptian Museum. And back to our dear guest in studio, Ms. Rana. Ms. Rana, how will the gem serve as a hub for the archaeological research and education as well?
Actually, when we are talking about a huge number of pieces hosted in one place and yes, the ceiling of one place, for sure it will be 1,000. I just imagine 1,000 of theses have been done there just studying one piece from all of these monuments. So for the archaeological field in general, when we are talking about the world, for sure we have a lot of important archaeological sites worldwide. But when they want to take their baby steps in this field, they are coming to Egypt to learn about it, to educate about it, to such moving forward to understand how this field is important for such a kind. When we are talking about archaeology, first thing come in our minds, it's Egypt in general. And also what I want to talk about, it's not only about the archaeology. The only country in the world and in the universe again that have a special science by its name. It's Egypt. We have Egyptology.
Indeed.
Exactly.
Yes.
We have Coptology. This is not happened in any other place in the world. So we have a lot of people, a lot of researchers, a lot of doctors looking forward to break the code of the ancient Egyptian civilization, to know more about the secrets of ancient Egyptian civilization. All of these things are very, very important for the field itself, for understanding what is going on the land itself. That's the little thing to answer about the archaeology field that we have here in Egypt.
Yes. As you have kindly mentioned the Egyptology, and we are the only country who is having its own brand for its culture and heritage and civilization. How will the museum contribute to ongoing research in Egyptology?
So actually I want also to shed the line for all the institutions, international institutions that we have here in Egypt that provide us about the research, about the books, and about rare even books that we have in the field itself. We have now the open hands for all the universities and faculties in Egypt when they are impressed, the new researchers that are coming from all the world to understand how the process we have here in Egypt, how we can going on such amazing history, amazing heritage. When we are talking about even the product that we are providing for all the researchers when they are coming here. And one of the places that are playing a very important role in this, as we mentioned, the Grand Egyptian Museum, we have a research center for the Egyptologists in these places and in this area.
Yes, well, we have talked also about the conservation center, which is the biggest in the Middle East. The importance of having such a conservation center in Egypt and in the gem.
So the importance of this place, that the modern and the new technology and the new tools that we have inside this museum. So sometimes when we are talking about the allocation again of the Grand Egyptian Museum, which is near to the area of the pyramids, so it's not only near to the area of the pyramids. We are talking, if we are talking to the ancient Egyptian style, so we are talking about Memphis itself. We're talking about Saqqara, we are talking about the Memphis side, we are talking about Dahshura, we are talking about the area of the pyramids and 100 of tombs that we have here. So restore some monuments in its place. It's we using it, but when the piece itself, it's huge in its size, and we need to move it to the great, amazing, well done restoration labs. So it's near to the area of all of these heritage. So the importance also of the biggest conservation or conservation lab, it's not only because it's the biggest, it's also because it's near. If we need it directly to risk some monuments that we have to actually doing the first aid for the monuments when we are discovering from the sand to this. So we need, yes, the transaction area and the location itself, but after that we need to use it more. So allocation in Saqqara, for example, till today we still discovering thousands of pieces.
Yes, that would bring me to ask about, did we have discoveries during the building of the gem that would be displayed in the museum itself?
Let's make this a surprise, the inauguration of the museum, but for sure, definitely, because the area itself, at that time, it was an ancient site. So until now, when we are just digging something to build something new, we found some monuments and we found a lot of amazing things, and this is one of the things. For sure it will be announced during the Grand Egyptian Museum
inauguration. And as the Secretary General of the Supreme Council of Antiquities, Dr. Muhammad Khalid, said that we will be witnessing many surprises during tonight's inauguration of the gem. Finally, Ms. Rana, how do you see the vibes here ahead of the grand opening of the museum? And as we have been seeing also with our correspondent from Abdin, that people are flocking to the square to watch live on the screens the inauguration live from the museum.
Yes, so I want to tell, because this is an Egyptian achievement. Indeed. And all the Egyptians, they are very proud of their civilization. They are very proud of their actually what we have created from thousands of years ago. So one of the most amazing things, and I really like it, so the only such a vibes we see during only matches, so football matches only. So found something related to the heritage, related to the ancient Egyptian civilization and culture, and it was all the people in all Egypt just have a celebration like that's something also we need to be proud of, because they understand how the importance of such events. They know how to treat even the tourists they are coming to here, and they are felt this is our achievement. We need to announce about it, and the Egyptian way to announce about anything is singing, going in the streets, dancing,
festive.
Exactly, this is the Egyptian vibes that we have actually brought on the what it was written in the temples of and tombs of ancient Egypt since thousands of years. So now we are continuing the legacy. This is today we have a historical event. We continue the legacy of ancient Egyptian as our ancestors lived for us antiques to preserve, and now we are on the promise to present this not only for Egyptian, it's for whole world.
Indeed, it's our gift for the whole world. Ms. Rana Ehab, our heritage researcher, thank you so much for your precious input, and thank you for being our guest in this very special day.
Thank you, and thank you for an amazing smile.
Thank you so much, Ms. Rana. Our dear viewers, and continuing our special coverage for the inauguration of the Grand Egyptian Museum on Nile TV International. Stay tuned.